out live. I have a burp on the way, and it's rude to do that.
Classy.
Okay, I had some music ready for this. Here it is. I have no idea if this is appropriate, but it's going to do for now. So, when we last left off, you were all dealing with with the second half of a massive hobgoblin siege, where they were apparently coming from Acheron, the plane of their deity Maglubiet, to lay siege to Sylvania, the gate town that leads out of Arborea, and where you had settled down to maybe party and drink for a little bit, but obviously partying and drinking never lasts too long. You fought hard and staved off enough hobgoblin destruction so that the high priest of the elven church to Coralon in Sylvania had enough time to trigger whatever defenses the city had. At the end of the episode, everything had gone to white. A white orb of energy had was slowly covering the entire church, and then everything went to white. It's kind of like someone flashing a really bright light into your face, and you lose all vision for maybe what it seems longer, but it's maybe like 5-6 seconds as it starts to fade in, and the people you know start popping up, and then the light sort of recedes over what looks like just a pile of metal until you realize it's your friend Bastille, who is out cold, unconscious, if that's even what he is, what he becomes on the ground. And then as it goes out further, elves, some of them you recognize as ones that were fighting and killed early, are sort of returned to life, and as it expands out and hits the walls of the church proper, you realize that the walls, which had been damaged by large battering rams, have been repaired. The sound from outside is similar to what the sound was when you first arrived in Sylvania, which is the streets are filled with joyous laughter, there's music and little beams of sunlight just sort of twinkling in through the windows. Everything seems to be back to normal, except 2 of your party members are missing. Bastille is out cold, and Theseus and Ananse, yeah, they just left my brain. Theseus and Ananse are nowhere to be seen.
Yeah. He's got object permanence issues.
Yeah, I do. I have major of that. So, you look around and they don't seem to be here at all. The high priest kind of moves over to you and puts a gentle arm on each of your, a gentle hand on each of your shoulders, and Pod, your disguise had been dropped at this, this effect had dropped your disguise.
Okay.
And you're the last person that they put their hand on, but starting with Lucy, and then you, they say, thank you. Thank you, all of you, for doing your part to make sure this didn't turn into something much, much worse. Fortunately, the kind of magic that we would need to restore this place is old magic, and therefore it takes, as you could see, a little longer than some.
I don't understand what's happened.
Some places in the Outlands are less actual places and more ideas given life. Does that make any sense? Probably not. It's a little hard to wrap your head around that. Sylvania will always be here. It kind of is here for a reason that no one even knows, but there are ways to reset. I don't like doing it. It means some new things that were created since the last time have to be taken away. But Sylvania in particular is a place that gets a lot of visitors, like you, that like to come and enjoy drink and food and good times, and I didn't want them to be injured.
But where's the Legion, and more importantly, where's our friends?
The reset does something interesting. Looks into the hearts of the people, the hearts and minds of the people who were in the city at the time. It returns them to places. It returns them to where they came from, if they came from somewhere else. But I sense that your friends didn't go to their home. I feel like they got redirected somewhere else.
Okay, but why did they go there?
The premise of the defenses is that evil has come to Sylvania, and that's why we're using it to get rid of it. Sylvania is a little chaotic at times, but its people are good people. And so the simplest way to clear out any danger is to clear out anyone whose
Not good.
Hearts or ideas don't align with ours.
Our friends are good people. You need to get us back to our friends now.
Yeah.
If-
Also, what he said. This is our friend too. This pile of metal. What'd you do to him?
That I can't tell you. He's not from Sylvania, so if he is a construct of some kind, he would not have been restored. I think he may just be really injured. It's hard to tell. I'm not sure with these mechanical devices.
I crouch down and sort of like, can I hoist him up? Sit him up?
You can give me a strength check.
Here we go, folks.
It's like lifting a Volkswagen Beetle.
Straight up strength. So
Oh,
minus one.
Mm-hmm.
17.
Not bad, yeah. Yeah, you manage to you don't so much lift him up like this, you have to crawl underneath his back to lift him, prop him up on you. There is a faint glow from his eyes that's kind of like that when a phone is loading, you know, the lights are kind of fading in and out. And his mouth kind of flaps as though it's just mechanically imitating speech, and says, "The Steel Protocol, something or other."
004.
Yeah. And starts spouting out a bunch of jargon that you don't really understand, but it seems like he's in some sort of deep rest. Because I think he fell down 3 or 4 times in that last fight, and he may just need a longer amount of time to recover.
Okay.
But he is sort of talking, and
I start poking him with buttons or something.
no, just hard metal robot fist.
Try.
Well, your friend seems to be blinking and beeping again, so maybe just a nap. I'm sorry if I hope the defenses didn't cause this.
Again, with all due respect, the stories don't help. Where are our friends? Get us to our friends. Bring our friends back now.
If what you say is true, then your friends are being provided with a choice now. Sometimes, when a being is evil, some
Say it.
like some hobgoblins, most hobgoblins, then they don't know any other way. They were sent back to Acheron, I presume, and will stay there until their next foray out. If the person is, well, a person and is complex and layered and varies how they are from day to day, then the defenses give them an option. They show them a possible place they could get sent to if they continue down a certain path. If your friends are okay, and if they make the choice not to stay where they get sent, then you'll see them soon enough.
None of this is making any sense to me. I don't know if you two. I just don't know what to do.
Listen, I don't know nothing about magic. I don't like the stuff.
I think we have to help Metal Man. That's what I think we have to do.
He's doing something.
Yeah, I think maybe, okay, if she says they're gonna come back, maybe we should just, like, wait?
Do they just pop back into existence?
It seems like a strange case, but I would imagine, much like you stayed where you stood when the battle ended, they'll return to where they were when the defenses went off.
Has this happened before?
Usually people have somewhere to be, like somewhere they're from.
Just,
Yeah. Well.
That's a sensitive subject.
I just want to retreat a little bit and back away from the conversation and sort of in a whisper cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
Not as a ritual, just as a spell.
And the range on that again is like 60 or 30 foot radius.
30-foot radius, things glow, all things glow that are magical, and then there'll be an aura to describe.
The archpriest's staff is glowing very brightly, with various enchantments. They also have a scroll case on them that is glowing, like hanging from the belt.
Okay.
A couple of the elven soldiers, their weapons are glowing. And then there's
I'm still wearing that robe, too.
Oh yeah,
The jacket thing.
Yeah.
With the magical pocket.
Yeah.
Is that glowing?
It's glowing as well.
The whole jacket or just the pocket?
Yeah, I guess you would just see a faint glow inside of the pockets are extra dimensional of some kind.
Take that to a dance party. Glow.
Other than that, there is a residual abjuration in the air that's fading.
And do I have any insight as to what, or can I see if I have any
Make an
understanding
Arcana
of
check.
what happened given from the abjuration school?
Mm-hmm. Do it with advantage. It's your school of magic. Oh my god.
Just give me 1 second. My apologies, everybody.
How many ones can he roll?
Yeah, sorry about this. Feeble traits. It will be with advantage a 7, Jordan.
Oh.
Right now,
I'm flustered.
your friends being missing are clouding your.
Okay. I'm not really getting what's going on.
Yeah, but you're pretty sure it was obviously some kind of divination, or not divination. I just had the word.
Abjuration?
Abjuration.
It's an abjuration kind of thing, and it's a banishment type spell.
Okay.
That seems tuned to a person's inclinations. Yeah. What can I do to help you? You helped us.
Get our friends back. That's all.
I'm sure that they'll be back. Again, this is sort of a one-way trip usually, but I can sense them.
Can we get to them?
Sense them.
I don't know where they are. My first guess is they're on Acheron.
Pull out my handy-dandy map.
Okay, if they're on Acheron, how do we get to Acheron?
Down there. Oh, jeez. What? That's way far away.
There's a reason the legions of Acheron hate Sylvania and Arboreus so much. So we are polar opposites on the Great Wheel.
Oh. Get ya.
Yeah. I would like to think, and I hope, that your friends will be back here by the time you're even a third of the way there. Probably before you're even a tenth of the way there. And getting into Acheron, well, let's just say it's complicated enough that I would say it's worth just waiting maybe the half hour before they pop back in.
We could take a rest.
Let's take Metal Man to rest in a room
We can provide you with that, a room.
so that he can sleep it off.
Yeah.
And we can all recoup a little bit and wait and see. And if they're not back soon-ish, we can make a plan.
Alright. Sound good?
It sounds fine. I don't know what's happening, and we need to figure this out.
A couple of like stronger looking elves come over and offer to buff elves.
Yeah.
They come over and they nod and they help. They offer to help hoist the middleman up.
Okay.
Do you wish to stay? Do you wish to have one of our resting rooms here, or we can help return you to an inn?
Yeah, we'll stay here.
Stay here, close to where our friends will be. If they're coming back. Yeah.
So the high priest casts, pulls out like a gem, and it forms this disc underneath Bastille that lifts him up, kind of floats him not too far, like maybe like 5 feet off the ground, but they adjust him to make sure he's on there safe, and then start floating up this low sloping wooden kind of not stairs, like a ramp that leads further up. And there are all these, basically they're like nests, woven pieces of wood, giant pieces of wood that are woven out of the branches to form these kind of hanging nest like rooms that are filled with pillows and just comforting things. And all around are symbols of Coralon, images of sunshine, like the sun and light and that kind of stuff. And animals are living like amongst all of this, like birds just in the wood coming in and out. They seem, the walls are strong like against big things, but little things seem to be able to get in and out without a problem. And the disc floats Bastille up there and just sort of sets him down into the pillows in there.
Now, detect magic lasts 10 minutes. Was there anything that caught my attention on the journey from the ground to our resting room?
Well, her gem casts the floating disc spell.
Okay.
And
Just on the way up, you said every once in a while there's a guard who has a javelin or something.
yeah, it's the people in the more. There's a few guards that are in more ornate armor, and they seem to have a little more juice on their weapons and their armor.
But nothing else stands out on the way up? 30-foot radius?
Give me one more Arcana check. This place has like a glow of magic to it,
Yeah.
right? You know.
7. I've rolled 3 2s.
That's good. Get them out of the way, man.
That's
Yeah,
impressive.
magic.
Yeah.
That's my thing, everyone. Magic.
Yeah, there isn't a ton
I'm
of
so upset.
specific things that pop out to you. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool. Maybe when we're in the room,
Mm-hmm.
have they left?
Yeah, they make sure you're comfortable. They leave some like things of water and then go.
Thanks.
Yeah, I don't know what you're all thinking. I don't understand what's going on. I don't fully trust this place and these people. I can tell you that I've never seen magic like this before. I don't know what it means or what it's done. And I've been around some pretty powerful sorcerers and wizards and warlocks in my day. I'm just a bit concerned. My priority is to find our friends. So far, the only thing we have that's linking them is this priestess who says that she casts some ancient magic. I did some stuff back there, and there is a scroll case hanging from her. I don't know if that holds the answer or the key to getting back to our friends, but
Pug. We'll try waiting, okay? Take a rest. Calm down. Have some water.
Did anyone catch that she kind of said they were evil?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of concerning.
yeah, she also said hobgoblins are evil.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself to be
Yeah,
particularly
but like,
awful,
I
but
don't think
you
that-
didn't go
yeah.
anywhere, and they did.
I don't know. I'm
With
just
the rest of the hobgoblins.
I'm just concerned, and I think that scroll case has something to do with this.
I just have a lot of questions.
I don't know what the hell's going on this whole
And I really need
time.
a drink.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm I'm comfortable to wait a short while, but if in the next little while something doesn't happen, I propose we think about
Or make something happen.
grabbing that scroll case and getting to the bottom of this.
Sure. I think we should give her a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, though. Like, maybe they'll come back? I mean, they said they were going to protect the place, and they did.
Our friends helped them protect this place.
Yeah. But also they might be evil. I don't know, I just think we should wait. And see, just for a little bit. Just maybe they'll come back.
What do you think, kid? Lucy. She's still there, right?
Well, I can't say I'll miss Ananse if he doesn't come back.
I don't blame you.
It's just kind of weird. But I got attached to Cow Guy. I don't feel like either of them are particularly evil,
Nah.
but
Not that we've. Well,
evil people are really good at hiding their secrets.
Have we taken a
Wise
short
kid.
rest
No.
in the last?
No, it's
You can
only-
take one now. You can take one now if you want.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then I'm going to retreat into a corner and start to meditate.
Regardless, how are we supposed to go find her? We can't drag this sexy hunk of metal around with us. I'm strong. And kind of like the idea of throwing him over my shoulder, but I just think it's impractical.
Imagine when he wakes up and you're carrying him. Romantic.
Lucy is like half giggling, half blushing at this prospect.
Knock him off his metal feet.
I think that's already been done, actually.
Yeah, literally. But I meant like. Yeah.
I mean, I'm only 10, but I mean, I think he might like you too. I don't think he's very good. I don't think he knows what that means.
Nah, I don't think
You know? I don't think it's in the programming.
It's alright. Time. I'll just give it time.
You just keep doing you.
My mom
Anyway,
used to say my dad was like that when they first met.
Is your
Is that
dad
you
a
did?
robot?
No, he just didn't know. He didn't know how to behave on dates and things. But she taught him. That's what she always says.
Well, there you go.
So they could be taught.
Well, my point really was actually that we can't just like march across the outlands,
Gotcha.
dragging this hunk of metal.
She whispers to Puck, subject change.
I'm meditating.
Oh.
His eyes are like white.
But she can say that, yeah.
Yeah.
Having said that, at the outset of the meditation, I'd like to pull Jasper back from the pocket dimension
Mm-hmm.
and have Jasper sort of keep an eye on and follow the priestess around unassumingly.
Sure.
And maybe report back in an hour.
Okay. Sounds good. Jasper does so. Are you resting and all, you two?
Yeah,
Yeah.
resting.
Use some
I
hit
guess.
dice or whatever?
Hit dice.
Little HD.
I would really like a long rest though.
Yeah, me too. However,
I'm so used to being a warlock, getting my spells back.
Um,
also low on spell slots.
Me too, because I ain't got none.
Ugh. Plus Constitution is a whopping. That was terrible. That was a huge. You know what? I'm just gonna go all in.
Is there any other things you'd like to do in this 1 hour rest? There are a couple of guards standing outside, like not listening, like not close enough to hear what's going on, but you could ask questions.
Is there anything cool I can steal?
This is a very like simple. It's ornate in its structure, but it's very simple in
It's
its
all, like,
contents.
Wood
There's
stuff.
a spell scroll you could steal.
I still think we should wait
Yeah,
and
yeah.
see if
I'm
they pop
meditating,
up
that was-
before
that
we.
wasn't me saying that.
Well, we can talk about it. Do you want to steal the thing? I think Pog wants to steal the thing. I mean, I know we got the skills.
To pay the bills.
Yeah. But I think maybe we should wait a little bit.
Yeah, let's leave it.
Will it detract from the short rest if I sort of focus in, once I've done some thinking and trying to remember some of my spells and go over some of their incantations, Can I take some of my short rest to just sort of focus in on Bastille and see if I can get a sense of what's happening
Sure.
to him?
You can make just an intelligence roll for me, since I don't think you're like a tinkerer or anything like that.
Nope.
Oh.
21.
So,
You're back.
Yeah.
Hub's back.
Magic? No. Metal? Yes.
so
Robotic.
Bastille seems to be, even though he has, so when a regular fleshy person takes wounds, they're actually physically being injured and losing blood and different things like this. When Bastille gets hurt, it's more, he has a certain amount of energy that will power him through any given day. And getting injured, though kind of superficially dents him, actually more so just drains that level of energy. And he's been down to empty.
At least twice.
Do I get a
At
sense
least
that-
twice. I've run back
I'd be
from a
curious, do I
tragedy.
get a sense that things are okay and this is a temporary state? Like, am I able to discern that? Like, or do
This
I
is
do I have
deeper-
zero clue? that-
You feel like this is something deeper than unconscious, but it's like maybe the equivalent would be someone having a really bad flu or pneumonia,
Okay.
where their body is just saying, "No more, big guy, not right now."
Is he gonna be okay?
It's hard to tell. This isn't really something I'm particularly adept at, but from what I can tell, he seems to be, for lack of a better way, I'd just describe him as really sick. It seems as though I feel as though this is in a permanent situation, but it's hard for me to tell without someone who has more expertise in this.
Are either of you any good at medicine?
I got a
Kinda.
whopping -1. Actually, I have Jack of all trades, so technically I have a 0.
Nice. I got a 2 plus
Oh, that's
2.
better.
Right,
If you
thanks.
guys if you wanna roll with advantage, you guys can take a quick look to just give your angle on it.
Do you want to roll 2? Will you
No, you should roll with advantage. I'm gonna contribute nothing. I'm helping you.
roll? 10 and a 15 plus 2. 15,
Um,
17.
So, yeah, you kind of like look for a pulse and realize how dumb that is, and you kind of like put your hand on his chest. And,
Put my ear up to him.
yeah, and there is a strange warmth where a heart should be, and then there's also a low boom 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 coming from inside of him. So he seems
Put
to
your ear
be
here.
he seems to be in a sleepy
I'll
state.
put my ear there, like I'm listening, but it's really a snuggle. It's a secret
Aw.
snuggle.
Secret snuggle. He does have a heart. He has a heart.
I'm gonna have to apologize to Scott for accosting him.
We didn't get consent.
About 45 minutes go by, and then there's a loud scream from the main floor. And I'm gonna get,
Dun, 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 dun. Do you want us to leave?
no, I'll,
I can go get them.
Does this interrupt our is our rest okay? We're good with our having had a short rest? Or no?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I just didn't know if that interrupted the short rest or not.
I messaged them to come back in. What room are they? Oh, there they are, okay.
I don't really put that.
Yeah, we're still going.
It's empty.
Hey,
What an entrance.
I tried.
So, I don't want people shuffling in and out, so I'm just going to do a little sidebar with you guys and whatnot. You're back. You appear on the side of this metallic cube. It's like the ones that the Hobgoblin General of that was floating in, but it's miles and miles and miles across. Maybe 1,000 miles across. You can't really tell.
Okay.
But in the distance, you can see more of these, and on the surfaces of them, like ants scurrying about, are huge, massive war bands that are merging, and you can almost see the blood, like, cascading out of them as the two armies impact. And you're concerned you may see that results of this up close, because the Hobgoblin warband that you got transported with is like shaking their heads and trying to rally as an orc warband starts coming up over, cresting the edge, the corner of this cube, and you are smack dab in the middle.
I don't say, are you a giant spider or an
I
elf
think
right
so.
now?
I think,
Yeah, you were a spider at the time,
yeah.
so
Is that a problem?
No, I just wanted to know.
You hear a sassy spider.
Is that a problem?
maybe 5 seconds pass and you realize that the hobgoblin, the large, heavily armored hobgoblin that took you down at least once Theseus is charging at you, weapon drawn.
Well, shit. Okay.
Can I try to shoot him with web?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so close to dying.
Oh yeah.
These spells are hopeful.
16 hit.
Yeah, it would be a dead-on hit, except that it passes right through him and it doesn't just sort of dissipates. Like it goes through him as though he is a ghost. And as Theseus, you prepare for the end, maybe an arm up or a shield or something, he passes right through you and starts charging towards the orc warband. Then several more hobgoblins run past and they move right through you as though they don't see you there.
Going to look up at the giant spider beside me and go, it appears that we're more fortunate than it seemed. I suggest we go that direction. I'm gonna point like through and past the hobgoblins.
I will point a spider paw. Signify the fact that I understand.
Yeah. They've got 2 fingers. They've got enough to do a Babe Ruth. So, yeah, it's strange. There's no sensation as these hobgoblin horde passes through you, but that in itself is a strange sensation.
Yeah.
Because you expect any feeling, but there's not even a chill or anything like that. You're just not there.
Not even a tickle.
As you pass through, and it sort of passes through you, you see an image that you were not expecting to see here. It's the elven archpriestess of the Church of Corellon. She seems to be, or they, pardon me, seem to be in the similar state where you are. They look like they're there, but periodically, war just moves right through them. They beckon you over.
Wander over. What is...
Your friends are very concerned about you.
I am also very concerned about me.
I used a considerable amount of my energy in order to protect Sylvania, but I thought I could squeeze a little more out to make sure that I could come check on you. You see, you should have been sent back to where you're from. But I have a feeling you're not from here.
Nope.
I'm gonna turn
I definitely...
into drop form.
I'm definitely from a flatter place.
I haven't had to use the defenses for the city in a long time. The last time it happened, something similar to this did occur. Someone who was trapped here as opposed to visiting. Trapped in Sylvania or in the Outlands, as it were. And it seems they were taken to a vision of a potential end for them. You see, the gods are listening. They follow your every action.
Sounds about right.
They gaze on a fairly regular basis into your hearts and minds. And they're keeping tally. Checks and balances. This place is a form of heaven to some. It's a hell to others. But certain forms of behavior will ensure that you end up here when you pass. So, this is, you could look at this as a vision, endless war on the iron fields of Acheron. Maybe you're into that. Or it could be a punishment for exacting your will on people more than you should. Your friends said that you were good, that you had goodness in your hearts. And I think with mortals, gray areas are more common. So you have a choice, really. You don't need to make it now. Just watch a moment this battle of these orcs and these hobgoblins tearing each other asunder over and over and over again, an endless battle, and really think, is this how I want to spend eternity?
Well, I mean, for one thing, I'd like to be taller and less green.
Well, some things can't be changed.
That's heartening.
She can't help but chuckle at the concept you think you've turned into an orc or something when you come here. There are a few like you here. You stay as you are, if you behave in the way befitting of someone dragged to Acheron upon their deaths.
Again, heartening.
Are you saying that we're dead?
No. If you are, it's a temporary kind of death. I think I can drag you back with me.
That would be nice.
But I just think that you are given, you've been given a vision of one potential place in the outer planes that you may end up. And maybe you'd prefer elsewhere.
I mean, I'm pretty sure someone else has a claim on my soul already, so...
I wouldn't be 100% certain of that. There's a lot of options. Anyway, I think they've been without you long enough. They seem, well, mostly bummed.
That's fair.
And your metal man is in pieces, so.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I liked him.
Does he look like he could be put back together?
I don't know these things. But no more pieces fell off when we moved him, so I imagine that's a good sign.
So going back.
Right. We're here. And like that, you are back in the temple.
What kind of state is it in?
It is almost more pristine than when you left it.
Is there a large crowd of civilians somewhere?
You don't see them anywhere.
Cool, I'm gonna go to where the secret hidden tile was.
Oh.
And, knock on it and,
Right.
say, freedom is here, or whatever I said the code phrase was gonna be.
You knock on it and it sounds like it's not hollow.
No.
You start prying up the tiles and it's filled in.
Priesty,
That is a church.
there were a couple hundred civilians in a tunnel between here and next door. We told them they would be safe there during the invasion and they could come out afterwards. I don't suppose that you buried them all alive by any chance.
No, the church was reverted back to an earlier state.
So the civilians...
Are back in their homes or out in the streets or enjoying their days.
Good, okay. I just wanted to make sure that the people I had told would be safe weren't all dead because of...
Any
some
tunnel
bad
that was
puzzle.
there must have been a very recent development.
You
Will they
might,
remember
you might want to speak to the sensates about that, then.
what happened?
I fear that some of them might have nightmares that they don't really understand of an insurgent force raiding their homes, and then they'll wake up and realize they're just in sweet Sylvania, just We'll go eat a pie or something.
It makes sense then why this keeps happening to you over and over. There's no one. You seem to refuse to learn your lessons.
I think
The Quellenesti has a point.
I think the bigger lesson to be learned is that it keeps happening because it has to. And that's something
Can't change
that
those filthy pointy ears, am I right?
maybe it's a little beyond your comprehension right now, but the more time you spend here, the more time you spend in the Outlands and beyond, I think you'll have a better understanding of what I mean. But I appreciate that it can be confusing.
Sure. You all alive and...
So you don't see them around,
Oh,
and
okay.
a couple of elves have entered the church, and they're kind of laughing, and one has an arm around the other, and then the one that's in between the two, her face goes pale, and she starts looking around and screams. And that's the scream that you three hear upstairs.
So it looks like it's not only dreams. Looks like it's a waking experience.
I don't expect you to understand how difficult it is to do this every once in a while. I appreciate some patience. And she goes over, the priest goes over to the woman in concert. Do you three come down, check it out?
Yeah.
The back.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Just as we're about to head out, as soon as I hear the scream, I'm gonna cast alarm around Bastille.
Okay.
And mental alert.
Okay. Is Lucy coming down with you?
Yeah, in that last 8 hours.
Okay.
So we'll follow up behind them, but it'll take us 1 minute to follow behind them.
Okay.
So it takes me a minute to cast them.
Hey. Welcome back to Not Home.
Yeah. How long has it been? It's been...
An hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ish.
Are you evil?
Yeah. Are you guys legit?
Evil is such a relative.
What do you
term.
mean?
I don't know.
I mean-
Priesty lady here kind of implied you went away because you were both evil. You, I kind of understand. But you, I'm a little surprised. No offense.
I don't... I mean, it seems to me... Presumably there are those who would consider me evil. I mean, I've killed. I guess by some moral codes that would make me evil. But I like to think that I'm deeply devoted to justice in the world, all the world, and deeply devoted to justice.
Your own justice? Whose justice?
I mean, justice is an objective fact of the universe, right? Multiverse. So it's very confusing. But what
I
people
agree.
deserve things, and it seems important to me that people get what they deserve. It seems like in any system, and there are many where people do not get what they deserve, and something unjust is happening.
But who is to decide what is deserved?
I mean, we don't have to
What is
have a
that?
whole debate.
I mean, that's a...
You don't really sound
That's written
evil.
into the fabric of the universe, I would think. What is
We
deserved
go
or
off and
not.
have this discussion about life.
Wearing white robes.
Now,
So you're wearing white
And
robes.
indeed, something about the place makes you want to discuss that in a strange way, like,
Yeah.
you know.
Now, but before we get into that, more than anything in the world, I really want to sleep. I have...
You're not looking so hot.
What time of day is it now?
Um,
I mean, we battled for quite a while. it
yeah,
feels
yeah.
like.
It's late afternoon. You guys had it was a pretty early start to the
Yeah.
game.
I have seen impossible things, and it feels important to me that I sleep on them.
We
Or
have a
not
nest.
on them. Away from them. Sleep far, far away from them.
Did you say a nest?
Yeah, we have a nest. Yeah.
Sure, that
It's-
sounds
It's
Is
where
that
we.
what they call those sex pits that they were partying?
No, that was next door. Next door.
I guess if you were into that.
I come out from the top
Mhm.
of the room, so that's about a minute.
Sure. You've been down.
I'll
You've
see
been
them
down
downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
So just from the top, I'm gonna use message to Ananse and say, "Welcome back," and it'll be a soft whisper, sort of, "Welcome back. We need to talk."
Because he
We
lays on
need
the
to
railing.
talk.
About those sex nests.
Come up with the nest.
And then I'll slowly make my way down with Lucy.
Okay.
But that was all by message.
So you just have a little whisper in your ear of Pong's voice.
Okay. Another bathroom conversation in the future.
I don't know. You gonna send a tube of light to try and
Anyway,
redirect
I
it
can
somewhere?
bring you to the nest.
That would be great.
You can sleep.
That would be so great.
I'll take Theseus to the nest. The Bastille is in.
Okay, what is this nest that Bastille is in?
It's a
Remember, I was in another
Literally-
room.
It's
a pile of
literally a
pillows.
nest of like trees and stuff, and there's little animals running in and out. It's a
You know,
pile
like
of
some
pillows.
birds make the nest to hang down and they've got an
Right.
entry on them. That's kind of what it's like.
Just like person sized.
Hmm?
Just like people sized instead.
Yeah, it's quite large, and there's more than enough room for everyone in it, including Bastille's not so tiny frame.
Yeah, he's already in there.
And he's in multiple pieces.
Yeah. No, she may have been talking in a more metaphorical
So
sense.
he just looks like he's been beat up pretty bad.
He's beeping and making sounds sometimes.
Yeah,
I hope,
his eyes kind of glow and fade,
I hope that won't interrupt your sleep.
almost
he
like
has
breath.
a heartbeat.
Huh. That suggests he has a heart.
I know. I was so excited.
It's fascinating.
We learned about Bastille when he was knocked out.
You know, I've slept on hard, unpadded wooden surfaces before. I'll
Oh,
do
there's
it again.
pillows.
His pillows.
It's
Pillows all
actually
over the place.
quite comfortable.
Excellent. I'm going to curl up in a corner and sleep. Just like,
Okay.
everything hurts. But I'm gonna like not express that until no one else is in the room.
At this point, you realize you haven't seen Azel in
Oh
a
yeah,
little while.
that guy.
And he
Oh
seemed
no, is Azel evil?
Yeah, turns out. Plot twist.
no, he had been moved outside of the city by the effect, and he
Oh,
had just
sent
gotten
home,
escort
right?
back in.
He was sent home.
Yeah, but his home is still another planet. It's like Sylvania, right?
No, he had just been not outside in the sense of he was just outside the city limits in the kind of woods outside.
Is that his home? Is what you're saying?
No.
The woods?
No, it's really strange, and you hear his voice kind of coming up from the main floor as he returns in, and he's like, "What the hell did you do to me? Why did I wake up in the woods?" And the priest's voice kind of calming him and saying, "I feel like you and your friends are barred from your homes. And the banishment had a hard time figuring out where to send you."
Wait, Azel said he left his home,
Yeah, he said he was on the Sword Coast.
but he said he left purposefully.
He got banished
Oh, okay.
by his own sister,
Oh,
who he was trying to save from
right.
the grasps of evil. You hear him say, "Where are my friends?" She, a little bird hand waving over the
Helping
railing.
hand.
He comes up. "You okay? What happened? Where'd you go?" I woke up. I didn't wake up. I just the white light consumed us, and then I was standing in the woods.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's real weird.
You okay?
Yeah, I feel fine. I mean, I feel rough.
Confused?
Confused, yeah. But I mean, I don't feel like it hurt me at all.
We got a nest. Do you need a nap?
You know, I'm feeling okay. It's a little early yet. And then there's this sonorous rumbling snore, and the whole, it's like the wood pulls in a little bit on the nest, and then maybe we let the two big guys snuggle a little.
Well,
So
that
I'm pretty
doesn't-
sure I passed out just like in full armor and everything.
Oh, sure,
Just
yeah.
like boom.
Face down.
think we can maybe squeeze a little more information out of this High Priest Coraline. Don't you think?
I don't like her very much.
Are you still around, right?
Yeah.
So what did you see?
What do you mean?
Where'd you go?
She implied that you guys would have to make a choice or something.
There was no. It was just. I basically just stood in a void and had that lady lecture me on.
Huh.
I don't even know what exactly her point was. She just seemed very condescending.
She does seem condescending.
Tried to speak to her, kind of relating that she doesn't really seem to be in the position to be throwing stones, considering she seems to be stuck in a never-ending race war. So.
True. True.
But, you know, other than that, I don't know, some fear about where I'll end up in the afterlife, but I'm not honestly really too concerned about that. I've never been much of a religious man myself.
Hazel says, I hope you don't find out too late that it matters very much, whether you want it to or not. I mean, do you, of course. But, you know, they're paying attention. The
Yeah.
royal way.
Well, we're doing everything right.
Live.
I think they're setting up some kind of spread downstairs. Anyone can go and eat and hobnob a little?
Sure.
Yeah, start-
Hobgob? Too soon? Sorry.
Oh, shoot daggers
Is
at
there more wine?
Hazel, I did not know.
There looks like there's wine and fresh,
Excellent! I clap my
fresh
hands
fruit and
start walking-
vegetables.
Start walking ahead. Back downstairs.
The as you head down, you see that out of the floor that is like just very tightly woven branches and roots, spiraling tables are starting to rise up, and then fresh fruit and things are growing right out of, like off of branches, like
Cool.
right into cornucopias on the table, and the doors are now being held open by a couple of clerics,
Buff
Coraline.
elves.
Bears.
Yeah. It's 1,000 squirrels in a trench coat that are holding the door, and just people are coming in, and they're all sort of setting down into benches that are forming around, and just starting to eat. So, priests and clerics of Coraline and just the people of Sylvania are all kind of having a little mini feast. You're welcome to join them.
Ricky's down there already.
Yeah, every time you pull like an apple or something off of a tree, another one just grows back into its place.
This is great, guys.
I
Get back out
literally
here.
just keep picking the same fruit, like over and over
Okay.
again.
How long do you do it for?
I don't, until someone comes and stops me, probably.
A giant pile of apples behind you.
Yeah, you get 12 apples before someone is like, if you're not gonna eat them, pass them along.
I happily give them out. I'm just like amazed.
Yeah, and it's not like they grow exactly back from the same bud, like another bud just nearby, like sprouts another apple. And there's all kinds of stuff. There's vines of grapes that like weave around, and there are more tropical plants that have oranges and things growing on them. It's yeah.
I take a
Um,
thing of grapes and I put it in my beak, and then it comes out just the stems.
Yeah. And you can see the priest, the high priest, is sitting amongst the people. They don't have a specific spot. Periodically, they get up and move and sit down somewhere else. So there's lots of people to talk to. I don't know. Hazel seems to be trying to get closer to where the high priest is sitting.
Was the room to sit near here?
Yeah, there's like room all. The place isn't full up.
Okay, well I won't sit like directly next to her, but I'll try to sit within like a few chairs.
Sure. She's having some kind of hushed conversation with the cleric beside her.
With the
Hog?
who?
Yeah, sort of in a more quiet area of the room. I'd like to sort of sit down with the hood over and look as though I'm eating some of the food, but I'd like to try and listen in on the conversation using Jasper.
Sure. Okay. Give me a perception roll for Jasper.
Jasperception.
I'm able to find out what I should use for that, Jordan, because I have a handy dandy weasel card
It took you long enough.
that I got from the deck of many things.
Woo, they got many things.
Natural 20.
Wow. It's, I'm not going to say the card made that happen, but maybe
Deck
it
of many,
did.
bringing you 20s since today.
That was unscripted.
Can you believe it?
Yeah. So, Jasper actually curls up like right on her lap, and she just like pets, like out of.
Because there's animals all over, right?
Yeah. Like it's not that unusual.
It's not unusual.
And, like-
animals everywhere.
No. Here anyway. If you're in your bedroom and it's suddenly filled with weasels, you got. So
I know,
and like
weasels are the
birds,
best
like
weasels.
a couple of birds land near you and like steal grapes off of the vine when you're trying to pick it up, and like there's like animals, little animals everywhere. And so she just like starts absentmindedly petting the weasel. I'm an adult. Petting your.
Petting your weasel.
What's the point? I don't understand what's happening.
Interacting with
Is there big
Jasper.
stuff going on? Like you're joking about?
Yeah.
Petting a weasel?
Petting the weasel just sounds like innuendo, doesn't it?
Well, I think it's like innuendo for safety.
I mean, I wouldn't know what it was innuendo for, but I'd be like, oh, there's definitely something dirty happening here. And it's like some weird high-level dirty something that I don't understand.
Stroking your weasel.
Stroking your weasel? I don't think a girl has ever called my dick a weasel.
Remember that weasel.
You're young. You're young. So she absentmindedly pets Jasper, which is what I should have said from the beginning.
There we go. Yep.
And you hear the whole conversation. It's pretty idle. The cleric does mention the battle from the day before, but not like,
The day before.
well, from earlier today, I guess. It makes more sense.
Okay.
It was 2 weeks ago for me. But, and they're not like talking as though of any secrets, but that it was a close one and the people are safe. And next time, hopefully they won't send as many and that kind of thing. She also speaks, the high priest speaks a little bit of you, not just you, but your group, and says that it was lucky that they were there to slow down. That you were there. Lucky that you were there to slow down the hobgoblins. So she seems to think of you fairly fondly.
I'm actually gonna, if he's sitting like in like a choir on the table, I'm actually gonna get up and go and sit next to him.
Sure.
I'm feeling the party vibe. I want to play some music.
Okay.
Yeah, bird it up.
Yeah. I want to entertain everybody.
Have you got something in mind that would go well with this crowd?
Yeah. Glam bagpipes.
Okay.
Where's that?
Sure.
Glam pipes. Glam pipes.
Give me. You're just gonna stand up on one of these makeshift tables?
Oh
or-
yeah, right on the table. I'm probably gonna step in some people's food while I do it.
Okay.
Really feel in the
Give me
moment.
a performance roll.
That's a 20.
Whoa!
At first the sound, the way it echoes around in this giant wooden cavern isn't quite what you would expect from here, but then it's almost like the wood resonates with the wood in your bagpipes and everything kind of aligns. And there's a little bit of this glam rock jig that gets played, and these kind of, not solemn elves, but just a little like more serious than the Eladrin that you've been dealing with previously. They kind of start nodding their heads and, moving back and forth, and a couple of them start to get up that are finished eating, and they get up and they dance a little. You seem to be, they seem to be pleased.
Excellent.
What's Ricky doing?
I'm gonna find like a guard or something.
Sure.
Just sort of stand
I mean, everyone is kind of eating right now, but you can tell who's a guard by their garb.
Oh, okay. Is there anyone like standing by the walls or something?
Yeah, okay. We'll say there's a couple, sure.
So I go lean against the wall.
Ah, the flamingo person. Thank you for your help yesterday. Or earlier today. 2 weeks ago. Whenever it is.
Weird.
Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly around here.
Yeah. How often do you guys press the reset button?
An insurgents like that, every couple hundred years.
Oh. Okay. Cool.
They have little scout bands that sneak their way in, but we deal with them on our own.
Yeah, that's what the weirdo touchy-feelies were saying.
The sensates?
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I don't like going over there.
What, there's a tunnel underneath? Between your,
What tunnel?
There used to be a tunnel. That's how we
I
got
don't
here.
recall a tunnel.
Someone's up to some sneaky business.
I wouldn't be surprised if their leader, Silken, set something up. She's kind of a coward.
You guys got fights going on or something?
Hmm?
Do you fight?
No. We think there's ways to enjoy the bounties of the multiverse without having to
Consume them?
copulate with everything
Yeah.
or eat everything.
Gotcha.
I mean, as you can see, there are things that grow specifically to be eaten. And so we stick to eating those things.
Okay. Fair enough, fair enough.
Thank you again for your help.
Yeah.
It's not often strangers put themselves in the lines of danger for what they see as little more than a tourist destination sometimes.
Yeah, well, whatever.
I'm
No big deal.
A couple of the guards and I were speaking, and we're surprised that you weren't just sent back to your prime material plane.
He like rubs the back of his neck and is like, yeah, weird. Like,
Well,
really
I
nervous.
mean, the bright side is you get to stay with us a little longer and feast and
Partay.
yeah, I mean not like he gestures over across the street.
Yeah, not like that.
No.
And that's, you know.
Well, pass. Hard pass
Alright,
for me.
alright.
But no, I mean not. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying on that
Yeah, how they.
that way of
yeah,
things.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Anyway, go eat. You seem to really be enjoying those grapes. Have some more.
They're good grapes.
There's literally infinite of them.
How does that work?
I don't know.
You just eat it, you don't question
It's
it?
just the bounty of Sylvania. I think it's our proximity to. I think it's the gate to Arborea. It leaks some of its Arborea's magic in.
Magic food.
Yeah.
Weird.
Arborea is the definition of nature's bounty. So
You're surviving off it though.
we
so
get
it
a
just
little
works.
we get a little bit of it. Yeah.
Cool.
Enjoy,
Thanks.
bird friend.
I'm gonna go and eat more.
You sidle up beside Fog.
Yeah. Yeah, I come over.
You see him like picking up food, but it's just like getting dropped close to his face as he like brings it. Some of it rolls over his shoulder back into the hood, and you realize he
Like
isn't
total
eating any
sketch
of it.
board.
Hmm.
Like total sketch bag.
Yeah, and
Straight
it's
up.
your
Oh, weird.
well, your does it both your vision and your ears go, whether you choose to or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So like his eyes are like glazed over white when you kind of look at him, and he's just like his shirt must be filled with like 6 or 7 oranges at this point. Whole oranges.
I feel like maybe not, but okay, we'll go
Like
with it.
complete, like yeah, she's like grabbing like apples and just like dropping them. In the
Nah, yeah, okay.
I
Well,
can't see it here. I'm not an idiot. But we'll go with it.
Rubbing
Well,
it
it-
on
I
the
like
look
it.
at
I like
your
it. Go
face.
with it. I'm very
Um,
focused.
Okay.
Driven.
I will. At this point, I'm going to assume at this point I'm probably getting a little bit drunk because I was drinking before the battle,
right.
and
Oh, right,
I
right.
have continued to
Oh
keep.
yeah, you had like a whole bottle of wine. Didn't you?
Yeah, I've been not afraid to get a little bit drunk.
Sure.
Um,
And you've
so-
seen him in the. I think you've seen him in this state before.
Yeah, I probably
Something like it.
recognizes him talking to his weasel friend. So I'm gonna like kind of like hurriedly like throw like messily, probably the best term, throw down like a handkerchief to like, but I'm not gonna like actually like make sure that's like nice and flat before I go to sit on it.
Right.
Kind of like maybe like spilling a little bit of glass of wine because I'm getting a little bit loose.
Sure.
And I guess if he looks like he's like all glazed over, then I will I'll sit and wait, and I'll probably like reach over and grab a I don't know, plum.
Sure. Good choice.
Yeah, something
Plums are
like
delicious.
not like a big like nothing I have to take a rind off. Something like a pear or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah,
like
plum.
grab. And
A
yeah,
plum I feel like a plum is a very elven food
Yeah.
for some reason.
Yeah, and I'll eat my plum and drink my wine and
Sure.
wait for him to come.
You
in.
do sense someone sit down beside you, like.
Yeah, and also if you shake me or touch me, I'll know you're there. I just
Okay.
He touches weasel.
you don't have to,
while you're there.
but I would know you're there if you gave me a little.
It's your own fault.
I know.
You did
I
this.
know I did
We're
it.
back on the weasel comment.
Yeah.
It's the bad kids of D&D.
So, Nika.
Again, you know what? If he's got his mouth open, I'm gonna try to take a grape and I'm gonna try to like throw it
Okay, give me a
Down,
give me
like
just a
the back.
dexterity roll, please.
down the back of his like throat.
Choke me to death.
Huh?
I said, please don't choke me to
It's
death.
way more
die.
likely to just bounce a grape off your forehead.
Nika, a few people have actually pulled out instruments of their own, and you've got a little jam band going.
Excellent.
Oh, sweet.
19.
Yeah, they kind of like gesture for you to come off of the table, even though no one seems super upset about that fact, you know. But as you do, like a bit of a stage kind of forms, just like rows out, and it's elevated a little higher above everyone, so you're kind of center of attention up there.
Nice.
But I'd say a third of the people are up dancing now.
I just keep playing then.
Cool. You want to do another performance? You gonna change the tune, or are you gonna stick with what works?
No, I'm sticking with the glam rock bagpipes. It
Okay.
works.
All right.
People are feeling it.
What'd you
19.
roll? A 19?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pog, you suddenly feel a grape in your mouth when you weren't trying to eat one.
Well, I was actually like, I'm gonna try to throw it enough down that like it'll get past, it'll scare him. You know what I mean? If his mouth is open wide.
Make a Constitution save.
This is how Pog dies.
Yeah.
Make a Constitution save,
Yeah.
wizard.
Where is it on my little new thing?
It should be just right when you're attributes, I think.
Yeah, hit the that, and then down.
Ah, there we go.
And then go down.
Saving throws. 14.
Yeah, you feel it go in and then you manage to spit it out before it gets too far.
That'll rattle me out of my connection with my.
I'm laughing and patting you on the shoulder as you come out of this.
Do you have a second?
Spying on someone, were you?
I
I'm like just like messily eating a plum too.
I think it's best if our conversation is rather discreet.
Okay. Sorry.
I just want to talk to you for a second about what happened during the battle. That where you went. What did you see? From my perspective, I've never seen anything quite like that, and I've seen quite a lot in my days.
What did it look like from your perspective?
There was a huge white light, blinding, and then everything was if time had reversed. People were singing and dancing, and you were gone, and Bastille was on the ground, and everything was fine. It was if it never happened before, and I've never seen a magic like that.
Yeah, it seems to be some kind of combination between banishment and time reversal. To be honest with you, I'm not really sure what happened. I do know that apparently I had to spend time on a space cube because I'm a bad person, according to some people.
Time out, space.
Even that doesn't make sense to me. The only thing I could get from the priestess, who, incidentally, I don't trust her, but the only thing I could get from her is that this was some sort of reset, that everything would go back to where it was. People who didn't belong there should be put back in where they came from, and and people who had died would be back living, and in fact we saw that with some of the elves and some of the people who have disappeared, but here we are, we didn't change. You disappeared to some area and then came back, and all I can tell you is I don't trust her. I know that she carries some very powerful magic staff, and she has a scroll attached to her hip, and I wonder if that holds some key, but I just want to know what you're thinking, because I don't trust this. You and I came here to find the sensates. We came here to find an individual, and I don't like what's going on. I don't like what's happening, and we're getting further and further away from where we want to be and where we need to be, and it just seems more dangerous and more dangerous.
That was a
Just
lot.
laughs. That's like just laughs.
I think you worry a little bit too much. I do understand.
With your plum?
Yeah, plum. And I'm gonna toss like the core
Yeah.
over my shoulder, and I'm gonna reach over and grab another one. And you notice when I'm reaching over that like my fingernails are like growing to like sharp points. They got what the hell is it called? Primal
Claw.
What is it called? Primal Savagery.
Bad hygiene.
Okay. It's a spell.
It's a cantrip.
Cantrip, yeah.
Yeah, I can either sharpen my teeth or sharpen my nails or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, so like big like claw, like well, not like big, but you know what I mean, like pointed black nail. I mean, obviously this woman is not as good as a person she believes it is. She's stuck in a war based on the shapes of people's faces that seems to be repeating itself over and over in time. But I don't think she's got any direct. She's not standing in between us and going home, I don't believe. She seems to be as clueless as anyone as to why we didn't go back to our homes when she pressed her magical reset switch.
But surely if she has magic that powerful, do you not think she might hold a key to getting us home? Or
One could hope that someone like her would be the kind of person that I would go to.
what about the sensei you were looking for? Will she know where he is? He or she? I don't remember.
I'm not really sure. I mean, she seems.
You met the leader of the Sensates.
Yeah.
She was trying to take everything from everyone that was there and then leave.
Run away.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that was.
Nika's wearing
I
her,
have her jacket.
her flowy jacket.
So we need to find her.
How long until I attuned to that thing, by the way?
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
You said that it required
Yes.
attunement, so
Oh yeah, you would have attuned by now with your short rest.
okay.
And yeah, you can reach
Short
into.
rest?
Yeah, it's an hour to attune.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can if you check in the middle of the set, I guess.
Oh wait, but I
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, was all that stuff not gonna be there anymore?
there's
check.
the reset, so.
Dun, 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 dun,
Otherwise,
dun.
now I appear to have a jacket folding,
Yeah.
so that's great.
Rad.
Yeah, just because she's a coward doesn't mean she doesn't know anything.
All I'm suggesting to you is I haven't seen anything like that before, and I wondered first of all if you had ever seen anything like that before, and I wanted to talk to you about what our plan is, what we're going to do next.
Well, despite my appearance, I've lived a relatively simple life, an elegant but simple life leading up to now.
So
So I'm not really aware of these sorts of things.
Azel is kind of sticking to the side, similar to where he was when you first met him at the in Arborea, and he's nodding his head to the music, and then he kind of nods his head over to Ricky and says, "You dance?
Maybe.
I want to talk, but I think we can make it look like we're just dancing."
Still dance?
Well, the music is pretty rocking. So.
Well, I can slow it down. You just give me the look. I feel like there's a look that we would have.
They would probably
There's a
have
signal. And I
Sure you leave
wingman
room
you
for
from the
Jesus.
stage.
You change to a slow jam.
Only if Ricky wants me to.
Ricky wouldn't ask. He'd be too embarrassed.
So yeah, you got
Yeah.
you and Hazel start kind of doing this dance. I don't know. I don't dance. I'm not gonna roleplay dancing. But
Let's get up. Let's dance.
he says, "What do you think about all this?"
I don't know what the hell's going on this whole time.
Like from the beginning and all.
Yep, it's all just magic, craziness. Just want to go home.
Yeah, but how are you feeling about not being able to go home? Like, the spell that's supposed to send you home didn't work. And didn't work on me either.
Yeah, that's kind of shitty.
It's even weirder because I didn't even go back.
Yeah.
I didn't even go back to where I started. I just got booted, like,
And you
a
just
mile out of town.
you left home, right? Like you got.
Yeah, from the Sword Coast, and I'm from outside Waterdeep, just like you guys are. But what I didn't tell everyone was that there were like drag marks. Like something pulled me.
That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Like how big?
Well, they were like my boots had dug into the ground, and I had some force that pulled me back. I didn't feel it. I didn't sense it. But
You hurt at all?
no, I'm not hurt, and I didn't see it happen. But when I stood up, I looked down. I mean, I'm a tracker. That's what I do, and I noticed immediately. And as I walked back, like 100 yards of drag,
Were you being pushed or pulled?
pulled.
Hmm.
But like I weighed 1,000 tons. So
That's creepy, man.
I'm dealing with that right now.
Yeah, that's kind of. Thanks for telling me that.
I have some ideas, but we need to stay focused.
What are your ideas?
I think this lady knows where the Lapis Observatory is.
Oh yeah.
Elves built it.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe it's a dark secret to them now. Maybe it's something else. But a map of the cosmos, it's going to come in handy if we can find this place.
Now, Bog seemed pretty intense. That there's some scrolls on her hip that are glowing magic.
You guys can do whatever you want when it comes to that. I think she put us up in a pretty sweet nest.
It was sweet.
And in the end, we're all alive.
Yeah.
As always, there are more questions than answers, but we need to talk to her. And I'm only so-so at doing that. Who's the best at talking?
He's taking a nap right now.
Yeah. I think that makes me the default person who's best at talking.
Yeah, you must be pretty good.
Yeah, you are.
Your charisma's gotta be pretty good.
I'd say I got pretty good charisma.
Mm.
What? Plus 16?
Same as mine.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I
The priestess has never addressed Ananse directly.
have. I don't
Just-
have any proficiencies in any sort of like persuasion.
So,
If that's what you're actually.
None of us are really good at it, but some of us are.
Well, the way I would
gifted than
go
others.
about it is maybe not the most polite way, but
I think asking for some help and asking for some answers is.
I mean,
Fine,
Ananse
I mean,
can
she's
set
a-
up a
She's a priest. They're supposed to help.
an interrogation of sorts.
We tend to get a little emotional when we discuss things, but
Right. Well, I can try by myself, but I can't guarantee the results.
no, we'll figure it out.
All right. She seems to have had 5 or 6 glasses of wine.
Well, that
This might be a good opportunity.
might help.
Is she still sitting at the table?
Yeah. She moves around a little bit, but
Oh, can you let me know when she gets up? Like, stands up?
sure. She's done that.
Oh, okay. Well, because Jasper was on
It
her lap,
happens.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Jasper just kind of sits on her shoulder as she moves around.
okay.
She
What,
thinks she's a Disney princess.
And in a way, she is.
In a way,
what
aren't we
I'd
all?
like to do is
No.
I want to wait for an opportune time when it looks like, she's either shifting after having had Jasper in her lap for a while, or she's busy talking with someone, and Jasper's going to leave her.
Okay.
But when Jasper does so, he's going to try and steal the scroll.
Ooh, you're jumping right to that already.
Okay. I guess I need a sleight of hand
Yep.
from Jasper.
But do you want to wait until I said I'm going to wait till the best possible time, like when she looks like she's got
Sure.
lots of people, so I can wait.
She's like got
That's a
another.
standing instruction to Jasper.
She has like another like animal sitting in her hand that she's kind of fawning over and talking to another a guard kind of thing. Go for it.
So, and I thought I heard you mention she'd had 5 glasses of wine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to impose disadvantage, if that's what you're asking.
I was looking the other direction.
He doesn't have
Sure.
opposable thumbs.
Yeah. The scroll is like the scroll case is as long as he is.
Okay, that's fine.
So just a little sleight of hand to nibble that off.
Okay. And I'm going to use saving face as well. How close is he to me, feet-wise?
Me.
He's upstairs
So is it
in
like,
bed.
within? Would he be 30 feet away, upwards and over?
You have
At these guys.
yeah, and he's too far.
Okay.
And you have I'll allow Azel in that mix.
24.
Okay. Yeah, Jasper kind of just scoots all over her, and with every every pass by the scroll case, he like nibbles a little more of it off. I need a stealth roll from him now.
What's stealth?
Dex.
Oh, same thing.
Um,
16.
Yeah.
Oh no, he has stealth. He's proficient tonight.
Oh,
It's plus 5.
18.
Okay. Yeah, he
18. Thank you.
manages to like wrap his limbs around it, and he lands on the ground on his back, softening the sound of this fairly heavy scroll case. And luckily, bagpipes are loud, and this place is echoey because there is a distinct dragging sound as he like has chomped down on the rope that tied it to her belt, and is just like booting it back to where you are. But within a couple minutes, you've got the scroll case in your hands.
You gonna look at it?
Well, we'll see what happens. I figure that takes a while, so you guys were doing your thing.
So while they're dancing, Azel kind of like brings them past the stage a few times, and every time he comes by, he's like, "Hey."
But Ricky and I?
Well, yeah, you're dancing with him, and you're going by, and you're like, "Hey, Nika, is the set over?" And then he comes by again, "Is the song over?" He's like, "You got real stamina," and he winks.
Yeah, I do. Once the song wraps up.
The rest of there's like 5 or 6 musicians on the stage, and you're kind of like bagpiping and conducting like kind of a mini band.
Right.
And they kind of gesture like, "Go if you need to talk. We'll keep the music going."
All right. Well, then I will
Nice backup band.
go. Yeah, I mean they're not as good as me,
No,
but
definitely not.
they do in a pinch. What's up?
We're gonna talk to the big fancy.
Oh yeah, condescending lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Azel seems to think that she might know they might know where the Lapis Observatory might be.
I think we should refer to her as Condescendaliza.
Yeah. All right.
I'm with Ignacio.
All right.
You want to do our thing?
Yeah. Let's do our thing.
All right.
Let's do our thing.
But try and like keep it chill.
Yeah. No, I mean, I know sometimes I go to the
You do
place
a little bit, yeah.
with the and
Yeah.
the
And the
but
You could-
The suck it and the.
Azel says you could leave the thing and the like somewhere else.
No, the
No.
is like.
Oh, she's
This.
there.
Yeah.
this does not go anywhere else.
Okay.
And just like deck
Just
it back on my
Leave it
back.
on your back.
And no, I feel ya. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep the
Yeah.
and although the suck it is really funny.
It is real good. Maybe we could like show them after. Or something.
Yeah. Like as now I won't hit her with it,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
just like
yeah.
look, woo, suck it, it's
Check
funny.
this out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
All right.
Like an icebreaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Have you seen it?
I fought with you before, yes?
Oh yes, right. Yeah, that's right.
I'm Hazel, your friend who's around.
It's a good quote right there.
Should NPCs say?
Yeah.
All right.
So you two start heading over to where she is.
Yeah.
Hazel's gonna come with you. Theseus, I would like you to make a wisdom roll for me.
Ooh, a save or a roll?
Just a straight wisdom.
All right, how's that? That's
Your cleric modifier.
Yep.
Clodifier.
17.
Cleric.
Your sleep is deep. You have been ridden hard and put away wet, as they say. But
Sure.
Yeah.
it's like a term for horses that works hard, or oxen. Anyway, it's a saying that people say.
It's really not.
It is. It is.
It's certainly gonna be later. I'm putting that one away.
I've heard people say it. Ed, you know what I'm talking about?
Never heard that.
Anyway, it's fun.
That's
Moving on.
going in a sec.
You're exhausted and your
Yeah.
sleep is deep.
Yes.
But you walk in a barren waste in your dreams, and on the only dead tree for miles sits a red condor.
I will throw myself down on my face and worship it.
Well, it's still about 100 feet away.
Okay. That's
Then
fair.
you scooch up forward with your head down.
No, okay, I will, I'll walk towards it.
And then supplicate yourself.
Yeah.
Stand up. We have to talk.
Yes. That, what do you wish to say?
You wandered far. Too far.
That seems true.
When will you be back?
On Kryn, honestly, I have no idea. I haven't...
We don't get lost.
Yeah,
We always find our way.
yeah, yes. Yes,
I sensed you
these are new seas.
moving even further away. You stood in the metal fields of Acheron.
Yeah, I didn't much like it.
Were you betraying me?
No, I had no desire to be there. Nor did I know how I got there. I'm still confused on that point. These seas are very tumultuous.
Sounds like you need a map, and that's disappointing.
Yeah,
We don't get lost.
amen.
I'll allow it.
Should I come find you?
Based on recent events, I'm not sure you would survive that journey, but I suggest that you try harder. We don't get lost. And its wings starts flapping its wings and flies away. And your dream returns into more fugue-like reverie. Dickbird is gone. And that's 9 o'clock. So how about we take a little breather here, and we'll come back with
Bird
the
is
probably
like
super
a, term
excellent.
for a dick.
Yes,
Like,
it's true.
You know what I mean?
It's
It's a
true.
bird.
Flip the
Anyway,
bird.
moving on.
I was
Very
talking, but I guess it doesn't matter.
We'll
Yeah.
go on
Well,
break. These guys will make pictures.
Yes.
Sass from the DM.
well, I was talking. I was trying to go on a break, and he's like, a bird's a word for a dick. And on that note, we'll be back in 10 minutes. And we're back. Welcome back to episode 9 of Lost on the Great Road. So where we last left off, Theseus had a strange encounter with his god in Red Condor form.
Dickbird.
The rest of your dreams are kind of fitful, and you see once more, before returning to your fugue state, the condor grab onto some kind of large creature in the wastes that has 8 spindly legs, huge mandibles, and is pulling it up into the sky. And in your dream, the spidery creature bites the neck of the condor, and they both plummet towards the ground. But then the rest is just a haze of exhaustion-induced sleep. So back at
Should I press the long rest button on this?
well, yeah, you're gonna come up on that, yeah. I just wanted to give you something because you decided to go to bed.
Yes, that's one of those moments where you make an in-character choice, and as a player you think, shoot.
Yeah.
In the first 10 minutes of the game, you go to bed. So I threw you a bone.
I appreciate
So
it.
The bed bone.
That bone is a thing.
now that you are in the proper, obvious, proper, serious head state to go and talk to the arch priestess of Corlon.
Oh, there's always gonna be time.
Whoa.
Excuse me.
Whew. If anyone was sleeping at home, they're awake now.
Whew.
Anything come out?
Are you
You
better?
know, I normally sneeze that loudly.
Yeah, I know. I've been your friend a while now.
Yeah.
So, you two start approaching
Classic
the
kid.
priest, who is standing up and discussing something with a couple of other elves.
Alright. I saunter up. It's a bit of a sexy walk.
We sashay up.
Yeah, that's what we do. Is your neck like going like
No, his head stays in place, but his body's sashay.
That's unnerving. Like when someone has a helmet cam and they're like moving and the world is like turning around them. Anyway.
Okay, so we walk up.
Yeah. She turns and says, "Haha, two of my heroes.
Yo.
Are you enjoying the feast?"
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think it's cool that
Your
when
friends
you like
are back.
pick a
That's
fruit
real good.
and then another fruit comes and then you pick the fruit and then another fruit comes. I did that for a while.
Everyone does the first time. What can I do for you? Anything really? Are you enjoying your rest nest?
Yes, our metal friend and our cow friend are resting
Excellent.
peacefully.
Yes.
Yeah, we appreciate the hospitality.
Yeah, food's
Well,
great. Party's good.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
love a good party.
Yeah.
And you're putting on a good party.
You played some excellent music. I think you really got the party started.
Oh, thank you. Thank
He's
you.
good at that.
Infinite apples will only get you so far.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you got infinite apples, you know you gotta add glam bagpipes. Then
And-
that's the recipe
Surefire
for a great party.
recipe for an entertaining evening.
Yeah. Yeah.
You look like you. Looks like you don't really want to talk about the party right now. Is that true?
Well, it's polite to make this kind
To
of
start-
small
We're
talk
all about
first.
being polite.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, all about it.
Real,
Well,
it's real rude to just like walk right in and just be
Yeah.
like, I want something. You gotta butter someone up first.
I'm buttered. I'm buttered up. You helped. You helped us.
Okay. So, we heard this rumor about a place that we're trying to go, and it's real important. Like, real important. For reasons. Do you know where we can find
The Muffin Man.
not the Muffin
Just
Man?
kidding, just kidding.
The
We have we mostly have pies here.
the Lapis Observatory.
Haven't heard that name in a long time.
Insight.
Okay. You mean you want to see if she's lying or not? Is that what you mean?
Dude, you just gotta roll. My technique now is just to get an
No,
insight check.
no, don't do that.
Oh shit! But you're good at it.
Any DMs in the friggin' comments,
I
can you please
I did that on a session.
tell me that
other
you make
people
sure your
are
group
doing
doesn't
it,
just say
okay,
insight
you're
check when they
president
roll?
of people.
It is annoying.
Yeah, like insight check.
It is annoying.
It is
There you
annoying.
go. You're annoying. What did you roll?
You're welcome. 14.
Yeah, she sounds like she's on the level.
Okay.
Carry on.
Not a lot of people remember that it ever existed.
Azel here told us about it. Thinks it might help
Help how? Puberty
Okay.
just hit at 36. Help how?
So you did the magic thing,
Mm-hmm.
and people were supposed to go where
Right.
they came from,
And you didn't.
and we didn't. And so we're just looking for maybe how to get home.
We just want to go home.
We just want to go home, and we think that the Lapis Observatory might help us.
The observatory was one of the elves' great works long ago. They were mapping. They found a way to pierce the veil between the planes and start mapping the ways, the pathways and the guideways and the gates from one place to another. An impossible task, many people said. They had success for a time. We never really saw. No one really saw the results of their actual endeavors into the arcane natures of the paths between worlds. But you see, these elves. This was a long time ago, and these elves. They would look very different from what we look like now. They were more directly linked to Coralon, his Fae-like way. Their minds, though very brilliant, would often find themselves drawn to chaos. Much like our sensate friends across the way, they would find that unless the work was pleasurable, distractions would come easy. The Lapis Observatory was a glorious place, and the elves that lived there and built it, and the generations after them, started devolving into less of a dignified scientific endeavor, and started considering it more a palace of earthly delights.
So it's a sex palace.
The sensei.
That is a reduction. That is a reduction of what happened there. It became a hedonistic getaway,
Like the sensates.
but stronger.
Stronger.
So they're not like connected.
The sensates are only kind of scraping the surface of true chaotic living.
I don't know, have you met the guy who eats everything?
Some of them scratch a little deeper into the surface, I fully admit. I've seen his list, it's,
Disturbing?
yeah. I mean, why do you need to eat more than one eyeball?
The left and the right, maybe.
I don't think there's any
Balance?
difference in the taste. Anyway, obviously we're getting off track here. The Lapis Observatory was built here in Sylvania. But, as is the nature of the Outlands, everything is a careful balance. And once chaos took hold of the observatory, there was no pulling it back. It just disappeared one day.
Disappeared. Like how our friends disappeared.
It didn't fade. It just, we woke up one morning and it was gone. And I'm saying we woke up one morning, I'm saying generations.
Gotcha, you didn't
Long
see it
ago.
personally. I feel ya.
And I have been here a long time.
Can I tell if she is lying? Mr. DM.
They could be taught. Yeah, you can try. You can give me an insight check. Roll insight, please.
That's a polite way of going about it.
Well,
19 plus 6. I can see through her soul.
Unfortunately,
Oh no.
she is 100% not lying.
Oh.
You think she really wants to tell you more, because you can see the wheels of thought connecting and realizing why such a place might be important to you
Yeah.
in this moment. And her eyes are kind of welling up with emotion, and
Aw.
she takes a sip of wine and says, I really wish that the map or whatever they were, again, it's almost lost to time. It's just a myth now. But I really wish there was some way that we could call upon what they were doing to help find some doorway back to your homes. But
Do you
I'm
know-
gonna like reach out and like touch her arm gently. I don't want her to be sad. And then I'm gonna say, you have these great magics, clearly. I mean, we've seen the amazing thing you've done, resetting the town. You sensed our friends when they weren't even here. You feel no connection to the Lapis Observatory? You can't feel it somewhere in the world?
my magic only relates to my experiences. And though I know of the Lapis Observatory, I've never experienced it myself. Stories aren't enough.
Do you know someone old enough who may have experienced it?
She sits and she thinks. She sips some wine. There's many beings that walk these plains that collect information. If you think you can muster it, Bokub, the great librarian, claims to have every piece of information ever known.
Alright.
Where can we find this Bokub?
His library of lore is on the Outlands. You have to start kind of just take the journey and hope that you get there. It's at the top of a
Very
seemingly endless mountain, but a staircase winds up. It's guarded by strange guardians, primal guardians. But if you can convince them that you're worthy of visiting there, and you can convince Bokub to show you the real library, he might have answers. He might have a map.
You got a direction you can point us in to find this guy?
I fear that my answer to this question will disappoint you like many of my other answers have. I can't. You just need to want to be there enough, and you'll find your way.
That's a weird answer.
I see you often looking. I see your bird friend here often looking and pulling out a map. That's a loose guideline. The distances between things are more metaphorical than
Yeah,
actually
we get
physically.
it. It's not a literal disc of land that we're walking on. From
But it
place
is
to
also
place.
that, and you will have to journey a fair distance to get to Bokub's library. But
So we just walk for a real long time,
And hope.
want to
we
get
get
there, and eventually we'll get there.
ask along the way, and you'll find your way there.
It's weird. You know who we should ask? Frank. Frank.
Who's Frank?
Frank's
No
our
one?
friend.
No
You
one?
have Frank.
Yeah. Ricky covers the skull up.
Never mind. Don't worry. We won't ask Frank. You don't.
Frank's our imaginary friend.
I've got several of those, especially after 8 very real glasses of wine.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You kind of make Bokub sound scary.
I think that he is not. He doesn't have to be. He's appears as an elderly man, bespectacled. He's a god. That is frightening in itself. But you go there with honest intentions and convince him maybe that you have information that he'd be interested in, then maybe you'll find what you seek there.
Cool.
My best guess is if anyone knows where it disappeared to, that it would be documented somewhere there.
Do you have any Is there any of the myths that sort of say where this observatory was?
Your friend, the Drow, seems to think that we're locked in some kind of endless war with the forces of Acheron, the hobgoblins. It may appear as that, but in order for Sylvania to continue to exist in the Outlands, then we must occasionally allow the opposite in from time to time to maintain a balance. Everything needs to sum back to zero. If we lean too far in one direction, then we'll just disappear completely into Arborea.
Like the Lapis Observatory.
My first instinct is that it got sucked into pandemonium. And if that's the case, and you travel all the way to Bokobs and you find out that that is where it is, in the realm of absolute chaos, then the gods help you on your journey there. You're very mighty, but that place will, in a very literal sense, rip you apart.
Sounds like a...
So hopefully, it's just lost in some long forgotten part of Arborea somewhere. But I think Bokob will have the answers.
Alright.
He claims to have them all.
You sound skeptical.
I'm skeptical of anyone who claims to have all worldly and otherworldly knowledge.
But he's a god.
Yeah, but, you know, gods, they're still only human.
It's not reassuring.
I hope I've given you some answers. I
You
have not heard the name of the Lapis Observatory since I was a child.
You have given us some answers.
Yeah, thanks.
We appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate all you've done. You're welcome here anytime.
Can I help you to your room?
Oh, I'm fine.
Okay.
I've got a few more hours in me yet.
Oh, man.
We have to celebrate, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers. Is
Cheers.
there like glasses of wine and stuff around?
Half drank ones everywhere.
Ricky has no shame. Cheers.
Cheers. If there's anything else, don't hesitate to ask.
Right.
Certainly.
Thanks. Well, we're fucked.
Gotta go to a place, and we don't know where it is. We just gotta walk till we get there.
I really hate this place, Nika.
Well, I mean, I like this place.
Yeah, I mean like
Like,
this
not
place.
this temple
I
place,
hate
but this, like, yeah.
Pog and
Want to rob
Nante,
somebody for old time's sake?
are you?
Yeah, you said that there's like small animals like running around.
Mm-hmm.
Can I try to snatch like a squirrel-sized animal?
Sure. Let's say a squirrel.
Yeah, is there like can I grab
You
like a
squirrels are
squirrel?
exactly the size of squirrels.
Most of them are, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them are as big as small squirrels.
As it's running past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a web type thing, or a...
No, with my hand.
Sure. Give me an attack roll.
Like an armed attack.
You can use your primal claws if you want.
Okay. My phone and stuff. Sorry.
Pog, what are you doing?
So Jasper came back with the scroll case.
Hmm?
I said Jasper came back with the scroll case.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might retreat if it's late in the evening. I might retreat back up to the nest.
The rest nest.
And
The nest of rest.
Start to settle down for the evening or for
Sure.
the night to try and get a long rest in.
Okay.
Did you look at the scroll?
But yeah.
17.
Yeah. You slam your hand down on a squirrel that's trying to get across the table.
Well, I'm not trying to like.
Now you're caught.
You're trying to snatch with
I'm
that.
trying to like grab him.
Sure,
I'm not trying
okay.
to like.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. You snatch it. It's wriggling in your hand.
What did you catch?
Squirrel. Are you gone?
Yeah,
I
I'm
need
gone.
to know if
I'm
you're.
gone.
Okay.
God.
Your face unhinges. I don't know.
No, I'm thinking about. Is there like somewhere like we're inside like
It's
a
kind of a big open hall with these like wooden ramps leading up different levels of the church.
Is there any way I can make myself to like a balcony, like outside, like on a second level or something like that?
Sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
You remember one when you were climbing the walls during the battle, so.
Yeah. So I guess I'll stuff the squirrel in my pocket.
Okay.
And we'll make my way up there with a glass of wine.
Like Eddie Valiant with like Roger Rabbit and his shirt like that. You don't know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I mean, like I'm
Just
going,
judging
but
you.
my fingernails are
Insight check.
my fingernails are long and like pointy. So if the squirrel squirms too much, I like dig my fingernails like into him to like let him know,
Okay.
like don't fuck around.
Oh, it's a squirrel. It's gonna fuck around a little bit. Yeah, okay. You make it up to the balcony.
Is
And-
there anybody else out on the balcony or am I-
No.
Okay. I'm gonna go out to the balcony and I'm going to. What is the squirrel doing? I'm gonna pull it out and look at it.
Well, it's got a couple holes in it, and it's squirming and squeaking.
It's giving you the squirrel finger.
I'll make another Roger Rabbit reference now. It's like the shoe being descended into the depth. There's a Roger Rabbit reference for every situation.
Like your Roger Rabbit
I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals.
Okay. I really was just waiting for you to put it in your mouth, but
That's what they said.
And I'm gonna pull a plum out of my pocket. And pull. Well, actually, no. I won't pull the whole plum out of my pocket. I'll probably pull like a chunk of the fruit out of my pocket and I'll hold it in front of the squirrel and I'll cast Speak with Animals.
surprisingly, it doesn't take the fruit from you. You just like it is in your palm like this.
Yeah.
A little bit of blood like mats its fur. And says, "What? What do you want?
Do you like living here, little squirrel?
In a tree?
In the world that you live in.
In this tree? Yeah. Everything's here.
Philosophical.
I can run up. I can run down. There's other squirrels. Usually no one's stabbing me with their claws. It's pretty good. All you can eat fruit, man.
It does seem to be nice to not worry about survival, doesn't it?
I still have to worry a little bit about survival. There's bigger things.
Like
Much bigger.
trying to snatch you away from you and your family.
Yeah. I feel like I'm in one of their claws right now.
That snarky squirrel.
Ask your question and I'll go.
Do you ever wonder what happens after you die?
I apologize because I thought that was going some other direction. No. Until,
I'm sure in your
until right now I never thought about it. and now it's all I can think about.
in your little life you've seen
The squirrel's head explodes.
Yeah.
your elders pass away in front of you. I'm sure you.
I just thought that sometimes squirrels moved and sometimes they didn't. What do you mean they go somewhere? What do you mean?
Have you ever noticed that eventually all little squirrels, when they get older, they just suddenly return to where they came from?
He just like, the squirrel takes the plum piece and just like nervously just starts like eating it and chewing it. And its eyes are like bugging out of its head. These aren't squirrel questions, buddy.
What if you...
Do you know how terrified I am? 24/7. And now you tell me that everyone I know dies?
But what
And
if...
they may not go somewhere after?
Well, I never said
Do
it.
you know how much that's gonna stress me out for the rest of my short existence? Do you know what an existential crisis is? I don't, but I'm having one.
What would you probably going to go somewhere you didn't want to go. That it didn't matter what you did from now on. Would you revel in the opportunity to continue doing things that are considered immoral or wrong?
I love how he doesn't trust any of us enough to have this conversation, so he has to find a stupid road.
If I thought that everything was meaningless, I would climb into the wolf's mouth myself and just let it eat me. That's where I'm at right now. Can I go?
Well, no. Little squirrel. So I guess that's what makes the difference between you and me is you climb into the lion. No. I am the lion. And then I'm gonna chomp him and eat him.
He's relieved.
He was happy. I feel happy.
That was a weird scene.
That was my favorite.
Then I'll go back down and
campaign.
I'll have another glass of wine and eat some more fruit.
All right.
Music was on point for it though.
Yeah. Little squirrel.
You're lucky, because you would have had to have that conversation with me while I held the squirrel if you had stayed away.
What is everyone else doing?
So, because Ricky is sad, I propose to him that we bring a little taste of home here. And I say, let's run the Twisted Apple Barrel.
The Twisted Apple Barrel. The Twisted Apple Barrel again.
You know, the one where you do that, I do that, and then you boink, and then we run away.
Right.
Is it the thing that got you into this mess?
I don't remember what we called it. I think I named it something, but it was not the Twisted Apple Barrel.
You do this and I do that, and then you do the boink, and then you're done. Is that what you said?
And then we run away.
Right.
And I think you wanna get Lucy in on it this time? Yeah, she's got to earn her jacket.
Lucy, yeah, should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lucy has been.
Speaking of our friends who are there and do things.
Yeah, but I mean, she's feels pretty safe around here, and she wanted to stay down a little longer when Pog went up, and she's kind of just been hovering around and eating nature's candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna get her.
She has like a mouthful of a pear, and she's like, "What are you talking about?" Sure, okay, yeah, I'm coming over.
You want to be part of this club, right? The jackets.
I thought I already was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're like.
A bunch of hobgoblins already killed me. I figured that was my hazing. No, I'm in. Let's do something.
Way to bring it down. We're trying to.
I'm just worried that
trying
you're
to have
gonna.
some fun.
I'm gonna get hurt.
Oh, you're not gonna get hurt at this. We promise.
Okay.
We did this for years.
So I get to use this, and you realize she's got the
The javelin.
javelin on her back, and she's like starts swinging around her.
No, another time. You and I will work with that another time.
Okay.
This is about your fingers.
Okay.
Quiet.
Sure.
And quiet feet.
Okay, I got those.
And taking stuff from people. 'Cause it's fun.
Well, you
And you need it.
Yeah.
Although mostly this time it's for fun. You need it emotionally.
Yeah.
Today.
Okay. Sometimes.
You're kind of not
You're
selling. You're not selling me on it.
Sometimes
Put it back after if
you're
it makes you feel
sad,
better. Okay.
and sometimes someone else has the thing that's going to make you happy, and sometimes they won't just give it to you, so you have to borrow it for a little bit.
Yes.
That doesn't sound right, but sure. What's making us happy?
So we want to look. Is there somebody who's got something super cool? I don't know, like a neat. What would make you happy?
yo-yo.
A yo-yo. Does somebody have a yo-yo?
Make a perception check.
Both of us.
Yeah. Yeah, you could both be looking for this yo-yo. Although I think you need a mirror.
That's bad.
Oh yeah.
That's 8.
Hmm?
Because we're.
Jesus. I do not see nothing. Actually, for 6.
Oh no yo-yo.
Okay, what do we see?
With those rolls, Some of the guards have really nice like daggers on their legs, like stuck into their boots. And, there's lots of nice kind of gold symbol, like religious symbols that are hanging on walls and things.
We should get Lucy a dagger.
Let's get her a dagger.
She needs it.
Yeah. We should get that stick thing.
Self-defense.
Yeah. She needs something for.
Standing right here, you know, like you could.
Yeah. We're gonna get you a dagger.
Want a dagger, little kid?
I guess. I really like this because I can stay far away from the stuff I'm stabbing.
Yeah, but in case something gets close.
Stuff gets close.
Something might get close.
No.
Okay.
Okay, if you need to like eat an apple,
I'm-
you gotta
That
cut it
too,
up
yeah.
so you don't choke on it or.
Well, I just use my teeth.
I think we're not.
Do you have
good
trouble
at-
with apples,
But
Ricky?
if you hurt, I do have a beak.
Yeah. A lot of the ways that you eat are strange and confusing to
Ricky,
me.
Ricky, I don't think we're real good with kids.
If you're worried, I'm having a great time.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
good.
Yeah, good.
Excellent.
Alright.
Get you a dagger.
Yeah.
Sure.
Unless you don't want it. Do you want something else?
Do you need? No. It's
Is there anything around that might help Hog?
Is there stuff around that will help Pog?
I don't know. What do you think might help? Might
What would
Hog
help Pog, Lucy?
What does he need? I don't know. Something to keep him safe. Something to make him laugh. He doesn't seem to laugh much.
No, it doesn't, does he?
All right. Is there something to make him laugh around?
Roll a perception roll.
Oh, God.
Roll history to remember what Pog likes.
That's worse. That's 5. This dice vanished.
Natural 20 plus 4.
Really?
Yeah. I see exactly what would make Pog very happy.
There is a group of there's a group of elves that are sitting at one of the kind of looping tables that the ground has formed, and they're leaning over, and you would think at first they were just having a conversation, but they're actually like watching something that's crawling around on the wood on the like table in front of them. And you see one of them reach into their pocket and put down like a couple of gold pieces on the table. It's like they're betting on something that's running around on the table. And
That thing.
you kind of like lean. You did roll pretty well. You lean, and there seems to be.
Yeah,
I
my
was letting your hand just.
Yeah.
Jordan, I know where this is going. Keep going.
I don't know. I don't even really know. But there's like a small wooden. It looks like a beetle, but it's made out of wood, and it seems to be like
No, I thought they were like cockfighting my weasel. Oh no, I got it. I was like,
No.
I'm not cool with this.
Also, the words cockfighting my weasel.
I thought the weasel was you.
It is, but I thought maybe you're in charge of the.
No.
Normally,
Two
a bunch of nonsense words.
two of these wooden beetles that look like little constructs. They kind of move in a similar way that Bastille moves, are like duking it out on the table.
Okay.
And they both got these wooden winding
Cool.
keys on their back.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, what about one of those things?
Yeah. Or both.
Those are, yeah. I mean we could have both. We just borrow them for a little while and bring them back.
Yeah. That's good.
We could have them, to a dozen, 100,000 fights, and then we'll bring them back.
Yeah.
A million fights.
Yeah,
I mean,
no?
we set the boundaries on that, and when we bring it back, I mean that's fair.
Okay.
Now
All
you're
right.
getting it.
All right. All right. I don't know if the twisted apple barrel's gonna work for this though.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I
Let's
think
invent
we
a
need
new
to
move.
do.
The scurrying beetle. Just make it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go. You're a good kid.
Maybe she should be our leader.
Well, no.
I mean, if the job's open, okay, what do we need to do?
All right. So we got the mark, but it's kind of multiple marks with the people.
I think I should take the beetles.
You want to take the Beatles?
No one's gonna expect a kid
Yeah.
thief.
All right. Let's go make. We'll make a distraction.
But they're gonna know they're gone right as soon as they look over. I say we lay in wait. So they take a break.
That was not as fun.
Yeah, but it's good.
While you quietly consider your plans, I'm gonna go up to the nest egg for a little bit. Pog, you get up there, and actually Theseus is kind of stirring a bit from his sleep. You don't need 8 hours straight of sleep. You can be awake, and a little bit. It wasn't a dig or anything. I'm just
No,
saying, you know.
No, I'm just.
But yeah, he's actually stirring because Bastille is actually stirring a little bit. Not like awake and spouting religious nonsense or anything like that, but he has sat up when you get up there.
Bastille?
Bastille has sat up. Yeah.
And Theseus is awake, or
Theseus is stirred by Bastille's kind of stirring. Yeah, it's kind of basically like that. Yeah.
well, I'd like to go over and see if I can discern what's causing Bastille
Give us a
to.
couple
Sure.
years.
Give me another Arcana check.
Arcane?
Arcana check.
Oh,
That's what you used last time, isn't it?
no.
I thought it was.
Bastille, I just used intelligence.
Oh, then intelligence is fine then.
13. 14.
The eyes are still kind of pulsing with life, but they're moving a little faster.
Okay. But no, it just doesn't look like anything's caused this. I'm looking around to see if anything has disturbed him. The alarm hasn't gone off.
No, he's just sitting upright.
So, as Theseus stirs, I'd just like to do whatever I think would make Bastille comfortable.
He doesn't seem to react to you being there at all.
Okay. Well, I'll prop up some pillows behind him and
He's just like ramrod straight, arms at his side, and I don't know what's going on.
Okay. All right.
Hog. What are. Bastille is vertically oriented now.
Yes. How are you feeling?
Oh, it has been a very odd sleep. Where you come from has the same gods as this place, right?
As this place? You mean where we are now?
Sure, yeah.
Well, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what gods are here. I'm from the Sword Coast. I'm not sure if we've chatted about that before.
Yeah, I've heard it. I'll be honest, I can't be bothered to remember any of these ridiculous place names.
But more importantly, how are you feeling? Do you feel rested, or? I mean, it wasn't clear to me what happened to either you or Ananse.
There was the battle, and then there was all of this light, and suddenly it was truly bizarre. We were in, I assume it must be some other world, giant metal cubes hurtling through a void, covered in constant, endless battle. There's a certain sort of romance to it. And then the high priest of Corellian shows up and tries to give me a lecture in introductory theology, which was irksome. And then we're back. I admit, in what has been about a week of continuous strangeness, it is possibly the strangest thing that has happened.
And as you say that, Bastille's voice kind of rings through this and kind of rattles the wood, and it says, "Arcane batteries are at 2% charge. Restful, quiet sleep is what is needed." A few moments pass. "Arcane batteries are at 3% charge. A quiet, restful sleep is what is needed."
I think we should go outside in the hall.
This might become a problem.
He's annoying even when he sleeps.
I just think he needs a nap.
Quiet sleep mode has been engaged. Batteries are at 3% charge.
Bastille, silent mode?
Silent mode has already been engaged.
Bastille, what's the closest gas station? Sorry.
Was there a door to the nest?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just step back.
Sure. We'll step outside into the hallway or the
Sure. Yeah, you're out for a minute, and then he just to nobody, he yells that he's at 4% charge now, and his restful sleep is engaged.
I can tell you this, Theseus, is I mentioned it to Ananse earlier. This is a type of magic and something that I'm not familiar with in all my travels and days. I don't know what's going on here, but from what I gather, I suspect the High Priestess has answers, and perhaps she's a key to figuring out what our next step is. I personally, I'll be honest, I need some time alone. I need to reflect on the day and rest. But my instinct is there's some key with her, and she'll have information that's important to us. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I need to talk to someone who knows things about gods. I've seen truly odd vision, though I suspect probably the elves will be going to sleep soon. Should probably speak to them in the morning.
Well, last I saw them, they were downstairs. They're downstairs with some of our colleagues, and if you want to catch them, they were imbibing quite a bit. So I'm not sure if that's good or bad for you, but they are downstairs. I just came up, as I said, I just need to think.
Well, a drunk man tends to have a loose tongue. I'll wander off down. I'm still like a bit groggy because it's
Sure.
but yeah, I'll wander down.
And before, and not to roleplay and all that, but is there a room around that I see that?
There's a couple more of these nests that are kind of...
Maybe I'll just go into one and plop myself down
Sure.
until someone tells
There
me
is
that.
a couple of sleeping elves in the one that you climb into, but they're big enough that you can get a corner to yourself.
Okay, I'll do that.
Sure.
Went away from the very loud, sleeping robot man.
Yeah. And the whole nest kind of like shakes and rattles and rocks a little bit whenever he speaks. Batteries at 5% charge. Sleep mode engaged. Silent rest is a necessity. I like how I'm changing, because I'm not remembering what I said before, but I'm changing it every time. Like, maybe he's not asleep and he's just like screaming at me.
Yeah, he's trolling us.
Yeah.
Because I have slept in the same room as him before. This is not what usually happens.
That doesn't sound like something Scott would do. Okay, so you head downstairs. You see that Ricky and Nika have kind of you see them just walking away from the High Priestess.
Yeah, I'll saddle up. Next to her. I don't believe I thanked you properly. I was tired and in pain. I am grateful to not be hurtling through the void on an incomprehensibly large metal cube.
Well, I am glad that isn't what you want for yourself.
Yeah. I've seen something troubling, and I need to speak to someone who knows of the gods not of my world.
I can maybe answer some of your questions. I'm very drunk.
Yeah. Do you know of a spider god?
I'm not sure that I'm interested in talking about any spider gods. I know that you have one of their minions that follow with you, but it's best you don't get caught in her web.
No, you see,
She turned on the elves long ago, and I think that is all that needs to be said.
Okay, I'm worried she may be doing something. I saw a vision, and I am inclined to believe it is from the only god I am terribly concerned about. and I saw him caught in a battle with a spider, who it seems only reasonable to assume is a god. And I want to see that the correct side of that battle comes out on top.
If your god wrestles with the Spider Queen of the Drow, then he's on the right side of that battle.
You won't hear me contradict that.
I wasn't surprised when your Drow friend got dragged to Acheron. I was surprised when you did. But I wasn't surprised when he did.
Sure, I think we were both surprised. I mean, him and me.
Right. But anyway, I'd like to talk about fun things.
Great. Can we pick this conversation up in the morning?
If we have to.
Alright. Also, is there anywhere I can buy some livestock? I mean, maybe not now. You know what? I'll leave you to your drinking. We'll deal with this in the morning.
I'll think on that, I guess.
Alright.
Gotta buy my brother, my Uncle Jim back.
Sometimes you need to offer a propitiation in blood.
She kind of wanders off, and like looks over her shoulder a couple times.
I'm gonna find some food. I'm realizing that I
Sure.
almost died repeatedly and have.
If you're cool with infinite fruit, then that's what they've got.
Well, that's a decent start. I'll, sit down and say something about like, well, at least there's plenty of appetizers.
Okay. Back to the heist.
Okay, so I think this is how we'll do it. We'll wait for break, like you said.
Yeah.
Then they'll hopefully go away from the table a little bit. We'll like block the view, and then the kid sweeps the bugs.
Yeah.
Then we make it for upstairs. Because I think that's where I saw Pop go.
Alright. Pog will cover for us. Alright. Kid, you got a hood or something? Something
Sure.
You gotta be quick, you gotta be quiet, and you gotta have dexterous fingers. That's what Ricky taught me.
You got fingers?
Feather fingers.
Interesting. A light touch.
Exactly.
Okay. What's your distraction going to be? I think they're taking a break now.
We'll just slide in.
Yeah.
Yeah, just slide in, walk the table, chat with them a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's go. We're going. So I just like walk up, kind of like sidle myself sort of between the people who are playing and the table. Real big like, really stretch out because I know Ricky's not gonna take up a lot of space and be like, what you doing?
Ah, travelers. You've come to join in the great Coralon feast.
It's delicious.
Yeah,
Yeah, how does that work?
it's just a gift.
You just
We don't question it because it just works.
You don't ask questions?
Well, what's the point? Where do all the apples come from? They come from the tree. Where does the tree come from? Coralon. Where's Coralon come from? You can see that question becoming very difficult to answer. So you can either enjoy the apple or you can have your mind explode like some squirrel that's learned about death.
It's a very strange example.
Example.
Yeah, I just did some poem I was working on. What can I do? What can I do for you?
What you playing?
Oh, this is just a little. We don't want we don't like having actual animals fight, but these little creatures, we've had a gnome friend of ours engineered them for us, and they're 100% made out of wood, and they are just like little automata beetles, and we just bet on who will win.
That's cool.
This one's Larry, and this one's Terry.
What? You know what? I think we should get a drink, and you should tell us more about how it works. Come on. Yeah, let's get a drink.
All right, give me a persuasion check.
Advantage because I'm there.
Good thing that's advantage. 15.
It was a 1 at first.
They're kind of like looking. You're like 10 feet away from the drinks, and they're like,
I'm just trying to
Sure, we've been sitting for an hour. We'll go over.
Alright. So I slowly lead them that
Right.
way.
And Lucy sneaks up behind.
Come on, Lucy. I've been training her too how to sneak. Right? Jordan, right? Right?
You hear a conspicuous whistling as she, yeah, I can't whistle, so, yeah, exactly, yeah. And then, under her breath, she's like, innocent child.
Can I
Just a
cast
simple
message
child.
and tell her to shut up?
Who couldn't possibly be up to no good.
So good. Can I cast message and just be like, shh?
Sure.
So that's what I do.
She says out loud, because you've never used it on her before.
No.
She says out loud, I'm being inconspicuous. And then she like grabs onto the two of them, and she's just like, nothing to see here.
Oh my god.
Innocent young child, having a quiet, simple good time.
Hey, Nika, why don't you show them how you play bagpipes?
Great idea! I pull the bagpipes
wanna know
out,
how.
And then there's a little more whistling,
and then I
and
like,
she gets like a third of the way to the stairs and just runs full tilt the rest
You
of
know
the
what
way.
else I can do that's really fun? And I pull my club out and I whack it on the floor.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Suck
one.
it!
That echoes through the chamber. There is like silence that falls across. But then a few people come over and like, can you do that again?
I can.
Yeah.
Suck it!
I mean, it's crude, but it's intimidating.
Yeah.
That was the point!
Yeah.
I feel like you get me.
Random elf who's locked up. Yeah. Sure, yeah. I often think that if we were a little more intimidating, the hobgoblins wouldn't come back so much.
Yeah, I mean, I hit some hobgoblins with this
Really? When?
a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
It was a long time ago.
Right, of course.
And
yeah.
yeah.
There hasn't been any round in a while, so.
Yeah, and it was really great. They just yelled like that every time I hit them.
Every time.
Every time.
You would think it'd get annoying, but it doesn't.
It really does.
Do it again.
Suck it!
It's magnificent in its simplicity.
Thank you.
We've got our drinks. Do you want to try out a game of Beetle v. Beetle?
No, I actually think I've had a little too much to drink, and I need to go to my rest nest.
We haven't even drank the one you just got.
I just down it. Yep.
Now you've had too much.
No, I've had too much.
Well, gotta know your limits, I guess.
Don't want to be like those sensates. There's
Definitely
gotta be a
not.
line.
Yeah.
This
They-
is my line.
They ate that line long ago.
It's delicious.
Good. Well, it was really nice meeting you, and
You
thanks for the
too.
chat. And
Enjoy your game.
I've never seen such a interesting use of magic mouth. A lot of people think it's kind of a useless thing, but you
Well,
really turned it around.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell your friends.
I can do it for them if they want.
One more time. And they kind of gestures to some other people.
Okay. One more time. I make this one really exaggerated. I just like bang it right into the ground really hard in the hopes that maybe that will make it louder as well. And it's like, suck it!
Make a charisma roll.
Just a regular charisma roll?
Just a straight charisma roll.
Ah, 6. I'm rolling like shit.
It makes a regular level suck it. It's still pretty impressive.
Average suck it.
It doesn't silence the whole place like the first time,
Right.
because they're starting to get used to it as part of the
Yeah.
background noise, but there's some light clapping.
Excellent. And then I bow and head towards the stairs. Not whistling.
Or running.
Or running.
You two?
Is the high priestess person around? Priest person? I'm gonna head back over to them and be like, how often does this big attack happen? How come we remember it but no one else does?
So she's like blitzed. You're visitors here. You're still, for lack of a better term, alive. You're wandering around here.
You guys all dead? We got ghosts.
We're not.
Ghost elves!
Ghost elves. We found them.
Ghosts isn't the right word. A lot of the people who are here are they're called petitioners. They are people who had died, and then they found a home here, visiting from Arborea, that kind of.
Ghost elves.
They aren't. They are a simplified form of what they once were. Simplified down to how they would like to be living their lives forever. You have to understand that if they were subjected to all the strangeness that happened in the Outlands, then it wouldn't be much of a heaven for them, would it?
Yeah.
So, it's been a while since the last reset that was this big.
Okay.
We've had hobgoblins come in the past few months even. Nothing like that. So, I appreciate you not upsetting them.
We may have said something, but then we. Anyway, don't worry about it.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Their peace for them comes with a form of ignorance that lets them kind of glaze over that type of thing. Again,
You're stuck remembering it all.
it's the curse of the long-lived elf.
Cheers.
I'm gonna need that. Gonna need that help back to my room now. And she
He's
staggers.
not even there.
She staggers and like sort of leans like
Whoa.
onto you. Yeah.
It's alright, I wouldn't take advantage of someone that drunk anyways.
No. Yeah.
I've got morals, yo.
All right, so I help her to wherever she wanted to go.
She says, "What are you anyway? Sorry, that was rude.
Nah.
But like, what? I have never seen anything like you before.
That's what most people say. That's what everyone says.
What do you tell them when they ask?"
The best damn thing they've ever met.
Well, with hair like that, I'm hesitant to disagree.
You know it.
And it's second only to Coralon's great man.
That's great. Wow.
Blonde hair,
That's very.
always blowing in a breeze. I imagine him like he's just stepped off a boat.
On the beach?
You know, off a boat onto the beach.
The
You know,
sunset
someone
behind
just
him?
smells so good when they've been on a boat for a little while.
Yeah.
That's how I imagine it.
The beachy waves.
sitting there overhearing this, I'm like, never spent any time on a boat. People reek.
Yes.
Salt water and like campfire smoke. You know, that too.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's a real babe.
Yeah. I'm sure he's beautiful.
She's like stumbling up to her room.
Go picture me somehow. My first steps. Go picture me. Alright, so I send her off.
Hmm. She like a couple of handmaids kind of like help her into her room.
Make sure she gets lots of water.
Mm-hmm. So Lucy makes her way up shortly ahead of you guys and just like bursts into the room when Bastille is yelling, "Arcane batteries are at 7% charge. A long, quiet rest is what's truly needed." And she's terrified, and then knocks on his head to see if he responds, and no response. And she kind of just backs out. But you hear it very clearly, as though the door had been opened. Would alarm have triggered it?
So it's I can choose. I wouldn't have chosen. I would have chosen the people I travel with
To be able to get close to it. Yeah. So she kind of like backs out of the nest and starts climbing down, but you hear the yell, whereas you haven't heard it in a while because of the noise. So something has opened the door.
Okay. I'll sort of peek my head out into the hallway.
Lucy's like climbing down the little ladder that leads up to the nest door.
Lucy.
Oh, did we move rooms?
Oh, I'm sorry, child. Bastille needs some time. As you may have heard, he's a bit verbose and loud right now, and
Yeah, he's in silent sleep mode.
Yeah, we'll talk to him in the morning about Silent. What are you up to?
I have a present for you.
Present?
Yeah.
Well, you don't.
Sometimes when sad people want to be happy, they grab stuff that, wait. You're sad sometimes, right?
Lucy, don't you worry about that.
No, it's okay. Sometimes you're sad, right? Just go with this.
I think all of us are sad from time
Right.
to time.
And sometimes you need to get your hands on something that makes you happy, right?
That's probably good advice, Lucy.
So how about these? And she like, she's coming up to talk to you. Obviously, you're not like screaming across the. She's like been making her way towards you. She like lifts up her hands and there's like a couple of little wooden clockwork beetles flying around on her hands, right?
Why, Lucy, those are beautiful.
Look, and she puts their hands together and they just start like kind of butting heads and fighting, right?
But they're
1 gold says Larry wins.
Lucy.
See, now you bet on the other one,
One gold says
Terry.
Terry wins.
Yes. Okay, and then we watch.
I'm going to. Does she put them in her hands? Or
They're
her
just
hands?
fighting in her hands.
I'm gonna cast minor illusion and make a little ring around her hands, like
Right, yeah.
like an
Fighting
octagon ring.
Yeah, okay, that looks good. This looks. People would pay to see this.
And Lucy, how do we know who won?
At a certain point, Larry just like scoops his little wooden feet underneath Terry and just like flips him like a table off of the edge. I think you owe me $1.
Here you go, and I'll take a gold piece and give her a gold.
See, that was a gamble because I don't have any money. And she puts it in her pocket.
Lucy,
Anyway, I found these.
you're wise beyond your years, child.
Yep, and really good at finding good stuff.
I'm really impressed, and I think it's a beautiful trinket that you found for yourself.
Well, they're kind of for both of us. You bet on Terry. He lost, but I think he's still pretty cool. You can have Terry. They're just gonna fight if I keep them together.
You know what, Lucy? I would love that, and I'll make you a deal. If we ever get separated, you pull out your Terry.
No, I have Larry.
Lucy, just go with it.
They can't both be Terry, Pog. Then we will have no way of telling them apart.
Lucy. And then I'm just gonna grab her and give her a big hug.
Aw, so cute.
Thank you very much, Lucy. I will treasure this always, and whenever you want to play, even if I'm not with you, you just pull out yours.
Would have been fine.
And I'll pull out mine.
Would have been fine.
Anyways, Lucy,
Your words.
whenever you want to play, I'll be there for you.
Cool. Good.
Now let's get some rest,
Yeah. Can we stay in this egg?
and I'll scooch her up to that.
And the last thing you hear, as you are all fading out to sleep, is arcane batteries are now at 10%. A long, luxurious, quiet sleep is what is required to refresh the mind, the body, and the spirit. And that's where we'll leave it.
Wait, before I go to bed, I want to draw a mustache on him. On Bastille.
He has a mustache as he says that last line.
And like a unibrow or something.
Please,
And maybe a penis.
do not disturb the sleeping war machine. His sleep is key to his refreshed mind.
I do it quietly though.
And to all, a good night. And that's where we'll end it for the evening. Thank you for watching. Thank you guys. As always, it's fun. A little bit of a quieter one after 2 straight sessions of hobgoblin murdering. Next episode is in 2 weeks, which I believe is the 30th. Are there 30 days in July? I can never remember.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
there's at
numbers?
least 30.
I-
There's either 30
Okay.
or 31.
Well, today's the
30,
16th, so 14 days from today is the 30th. So it's either August 1st or July 30th.
Either
Check.
way, YouTube won't care.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to be a Sunday. No, a Monday. I don't know what I'm talking about. But we're going to have some fun
Who are you
announcements.
people?
And we're hoping to maybe do a giveaway or something on the 10th to celebrate managing to get 10 episodes in the bag, in the can.
Exciting.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's exciting.
Thanks to everyone for watching, and see you on the great road.